Hello everyone and welcome to the 7th video lecture of Quantitative Analysis for Business Decisions QABD Semester 2 Module number 1. This is Professor Prashant Birje and in today's video lecture we are going to study about measurement. Now what is measurement? Students, you might have measured a lot of things. Maybe the length of a line, or you might have even counted the number of apples in a basket and so on. So all these forms are different types of measurements that you're doing. Basically, measurement refers to, it is a procedure for assigning symbols, letters, or numbers to empirical properties, that is attributes or characteristics, which can be measured of variables according to rules. For example, height of a person, age of a person, weight of a person. This can be measured. There are certain things which are easier to measure, like for example height of a person, whereas there are certain characteristics which are difficult to measure, like beauty of a person or intelligence of a person. So these have to be converted into certain different types of uh, measurable forms. This is what we are going to study in today's lecture. So basically, what is measurement? Measurement is a procedure for assigning symbols. We can assign symbols, we can assign certain letters, that is when we are doing categories, for example who is male, who is female. So this way we can categorize various things, and this can happen when we are counting. And we can also assign numbers to these various characteristics. So there are different levels of measurement. Now what are these? We have four different levels of measurement. The first one is the nominal scale. Nominal scale is a categorical scale where we just divide, or we group various things into items into groups. For example, gender of a person. Can we measure gender of a person? It is impossible. We can just categorize them into male or female. So this way we can make two different categories. Similarly, based upon income, if we want to categorize people, we can say poor, rich. So what we are doing is we are categorizing them into two different groups. Similarly, you can have different number of groups, 3, 4, 5 different groups. So when you are just grouping, and these groups do not have any meaning, this is nothing but nominal scale. So these names are just nominal, they do not have any meaning, that is why we call it as nominal scale. Now second one is ordinal scale. As the name suggests, ordinal, here order is more important, that is the first group, second group, third group, fourth group, whatever is there, they are in a particular order, either in increasing order or decreasing order of something. Now for example, if you say ordinal scale, here the first number will be better than the second number. Ranks, for example, ranks are in order: first rank, second rank, third rank, fourth rank. So you can very easily say that the first rank person has scored better percentage than the second rank person, and second rank person has scored better percentage than the third rank person. But the problem with ordinal scale is that you will not get to know the gap between first rank and second rank and third rank. Suppose if there are only three people, and for you are giving them ranks: first rank, second rank, third rank. The first rank has scored 95 percentage, the second rank person has scored 94.9 percentage. So there is a difference of only 0.1 percentage, and the third rank person has scored 50 percentage. So you cannot say that there is equal distance. You will not get to know the distance between these two. The first and second rank are actually nearly the same, whereas the third rank person is actually very far away. So this distance can be understood when we go for interval scale. Interval scale, we convert them into certain scales, that is out of 10 or out of 100 in this case. Out of 100, that is percentage is also always calculated out of 100. So out of 100, how many percentage has of this code? So we'll get to know what is the difference between these two people or the 3 people. So that is interval scale. And lastly we have ratio scale. It is similar to interval scale, the only difference is you will get an absolute zero, so that absolute numbers or absolute values are being told to you. For example, age, height, age, if you say 30 years, and one more person's age is 28 years, so the gap between them is 2 years. This cannot be understood in interval scale because you do not have an absolute zero. I'll give you an example in the further slide so that you will understand this in a even better way. But before that, going into that example, we'll first see data. Data can we have already seen that they can be either qualitative in nature or quantitative in nature. Qualitative things are difficult to measure, so that is why we can categorize them into different groups. On the other hand, quantitative data are numerical in form. So this is how we classify qualitative or categorical nature which is there of data. They can we can use nominal and ordinal scale there. On the other hand, quantitative data, if it is there, we can use interval and ratio scale. Nominal, what are the statistical measures that we can use in various things? Nominal scale, if it is there, then we cannot be arranged in any particular order. It is just grouping, we are categorizing them. So what happens is it is best measure of central tendency, especially mode. So mode spread we can see, we can also measure the spread and other things. On the other hand, we have ordinal scale. Ordinal scale ranks them, we can arrange them in a particular order. It is best measure of central tendency. So just like nominal scale, we can find out central tendency, we can find, apart from mode, we can also find median, and it is the best measure of a spread. The third one, that is interval scale. Zero is arbitrary in this case. We do not have an absolute zero. We can start from any point and we can say start counting from there. We are more interested in the differences among two people. Zero is arbitrary. Best measures of central tendency, we can find out central tendency and other things like mode, median, mean. Best measure of spread, it is, for example, deviations we can find out, range we can find out, variance, standard deviation, and IQR, that is interquartile range. So all these things can be done. As we are going ahead from nominal, ordinal, interval, you can see that we can do more and more statistical analysis as we are going ahead, because a ratio lastly has an absolute zero. So we can do lot of statistical measures. Nearly all the measures of statistics which are there can be performed using ratio scale. We can find central tendencies, that is mean, median, mode. It is best measure of spread, that is range, variance, standard deviation, and IQR. Along with that, we can find out lot of other things which we can do now cannot do in interval, ordinal, or nominal scale. uh, Example of primary scales of data I have been given here. For example, if suppose there is a running race and athletes are about to start the race, 100-meter race, they have various chest numbers or maybe lane numbers, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So these lanes do not have any meaning, or the chest numbers which are there, they also do not have any meaning. They are just assigned to them on a nominal case. So that is why they form nominal, they fall under nominal scale. They do not have any name and numbers, they are just used to give them name. Identification is the main important thing in this. Ordinal scale. Now suppose after finishing of the race, you have first place, second place, and third place. So this means that the first place person was faster than the second place, and the second place person was faster than the third place. So what happens here is this data has little more meaning compared to the nominal data what we had. The third type of data, that is interval data, is suppose after finishing of the race, there were judges who have given them points out of 10. So on a scale of 0 to 10 they have rated them. So that is performance rating was done, and they have given 9.8 for the person who finished first out of 10, 9.1 out of 10 for the second person who, and 8.2 out of 10 for the third place person. So this does not has an absolute zero. Okay, and that is why this comes under interval scale. And lastly, ratio scale. For example, the actual time to finish the race. See, the race starts with 0 seconds, 0 on the time stopwatch, and you start the race. So the first person, that is the person who finishes first, finished the race in 13.4 seconds. Then this person finished the race in 14.1 seconds, and this person finished the race in 15.2 seconds. So this has an absolute zero. We know where was the zero and what is the actual distance values have been specified here. So these are the various scales. If you want more detail about these scales or more understanding about these scales, I have recorded some other videos, couple of videos. The link for these videos have been given in the description, so you can go to the description and see these videos. Also, I'll comment these links in the comment section. Also, you can find these links, so you can watch these videos. Small videos are there, you'll understand much about measurement and scaling. So with this, I hope you understood today's lecture. We stop here itself. If you have any difficulties, you can contact me.